Goodness gracious me. Welcome again to Naran Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. We had some technical difficulties earlier, and we had to make sure that the levels are right.
Yes.
So we had to check on our guests, and we had an audio problem. So we got that sorted out. So we're back and we're ready. And tonight we say, always pray when you're going out, always pray when you're coming in. Remember, God controls our lives. So welcome, DJ Lassa.
Welcome. We're there.
Goodness gracious me. So, ladies and gentlemen, in true Naram fashion, we're not going to waste any time here. Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, highlights the history and current status of the Jamaican reggae music culture. Our objective is to first inform our audience of the rich reggae culture that exists in the southeast of St. Elizabeth and the southwest of Manchester. We will open our lens and microphones mostly to the south central section of the island of Jamaica to highlight the many reggae artists, reggae bands, reggae sound systems, reggae DJs, the food, the lifestyle, and the people and businesses that has helped to influence them and mold the rich Jamaican culture across the globe. Secondly, we will from time to time engage our Jamaican diaspora to gain insights of the progress of the reggae culture across the globe. Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, airs every week and especially on a Saturday, guaranteed. And I say this, remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell so that you know when we're coming on live. This family-friendly show, we ask you to share it with your family. Give us some feedback. I hope you love the show and give us a positive feedback. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here, and we have a show lineup for you tonight. Goodness gracious me.
We're here.
So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2
of
Hot Gossip.
we are live in studio. Ishie and
something special happened tonight,
Yeah.
It's a DJ Latta. You take all the train with it too, You heavy, you carry the heavy load by your shoulder,
They love
and
it.
forward in the studio.
Yes, man.
I first reach the studio early. And
Taking
you're not
the
drive.
train and driving late.
I will start late.
Yes, always late.
No, we're not always late. It's, it boils down to technical difficulties.
Yeah,
And
man.
we got to work with it. And you're traveling the journey with us because we're working it out.
Yes.
This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. We're guaranteed to please you.
Yeah,
So we have two brothers in a back studio.
Yeah.
They're sitting down there sipping some champagne.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, this show was so that it's an anticipation.
Yeah, man.
Hundreds of people are waiting to hear
Part 2.
This part 2.
Yeah.
And I will not hold them up because I want you to squeeze that one cold steel. One of the cold steel. As we welcome on stage or on our screens, the man himself, Mr. Lee. What up, Mr. Lee?
Greetings, man. Greetings.
Mr. Lee.
Greetings. Good day, man.
And we got something for you, but we have someone else in the wings. To the hardware, Ishie. Wendy. Welcome.
Yes, King, we're there.
Goodness gracious me. Ishie, you need some light, man. You don't darkness thing,
Yo, I drive, not driving on.
Now listen, Ishie, we're gonna play a tune to remind the people of the biggest, baddest sound in South from the 80s come up. You understand
The
me?
90s.
Yeah.
Sin.
You hear me? Squeeze.
The reason to sin is death, but the gift of joy is eternal life. No son boy gonna talk about moderation. I'll just him look as the liberation. Ice is the liberation. Apache is the liberation. Fox is the liberation. One is the liberation. Come across! Lieutenant Stitch the liberation. Nobody can be the Almighty because I am run creation 24/7 non-stop like the original you Ben Matla. Rhythm track without nothing here, cause we don't come from them. And we look and we tell them quench it. All the gossip massive crew. Look and tell them this. Look tell them, hey. And we ask them this. Dance mash up now. And we look and we say, Almighty God, gossip will not be no. Almighty God, the gossip master praise you. Almighty God, yes we love you. And the cool from my back and the shit that time and go. From the back to the floor and the light we are giving Almighty God you go. With that them a guide and that them a like no man can sit no place. Down close him to one shot the yo. Let me jump on the clips and the way to the crowd that put me yo. Create your body and my mind and my soul it is part of me. Give my God is omnipresent, he's present the future. God is active, and then it's always on you. Almighty God that's it we love you.
Gracious me.
Yes, sir.
Now let's
Lieutenant himself.
Mr. Lee. You know, I see I smile, because when this did drop, I from early out.
Yeah, man.
A whole heap of sound never have this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Original.
Yeah, man.
We're going to the story, because we have forward to the story where you said them thief the sound in the forward of the country.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
I want to play one more dub play to remind the people. One more. Squeeze.
And some not gospel me morning and a long talking. Well, it's from what you just choose some boy, and you me gun them busting no boy. They must fish me gun them last, no boy. I'm gun them while, no boy. But let me tell you something tonight, but you let them know them have a wrong impression and no foxy. Easy money. Once again, Ninja put it down some from all over and do remember when I show no guy tea. Original not gossip. Stiddly diddly I do. Again, I'm passing through. Early, over the Sunday morning. Shot them, let them be drunk, no reading. Early over the Sunday morning. Not just in shot them, let them be drunk, no reading. Come on, the on the corner, it's a mount of talking. Shoot the young cat with the big mouth crackling. This bad them like when rain falling. With blood get kill upset that morning. Don't cool and chill. Flex up your flexing, don't perplex the skill boy no more. Don't cool and chill. Flex up your flexing, don't perplex me skill. I am active, dangerous, tough and rugged. I'm passive, and I'm public, I'm going out the skill. Just like I said, you're coming from school, me back from college. Me foundation, it's deep and solid. What a come to teach a bumbo, all of some knowledge. Early out, early Sunday morning. Itchy, shot them, let them be dropped.
Goodness gracious me, this is Naram Promotion, the Real Deal podcast show, and we have the man himself, Mr. Lee from Hot Gossip, and the biggest, baddest DJ in the South from early foundation thing we are talking about. The man himself, Ishie. They're here, and they're live for part 2 of their story. Now, we played 2 dub plays. And I'm going to give you the back history to that. These were early days.
Yes.
Many sounds did not have this and could not play these dub plays.
Real.
This was one of the original sounds that when they played this dub plate, a lot of sounds have to get quiet
Yes.
and lock off in the dance hall.
Yeah, man. Ishie.
This was from the 80s. This, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking 80s, early 90s.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, this was one of the hottest, biggest sounds in the South, and they disappeared. But Mr. Lee is here to tell his story, and we may be surprised.
Yes,
you never know what's going to happen if the giant decide for it, if it rise up.
If it rising up already, you know, if it rising already.
Goodness gracious me. Mr. Lee, it is a pleasure to have you here, brother.
Yeah, man.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
DJ Latta,
Yeah.
he's been here, and him heel hot from early this evening.
Yes.
And him a mark time, him so boy, I can't wait to drop them dub plates. Father,
Yes, I.
So I get some belt, is it? Good.
You know, if we can recap a little bit, when we remember DJ Ishie saying, you know, it's one of the most organized sound systems that he has ever played on, and he had jumped ship at one point, and he had to come back because Mr. Lee kept the ship tight. He was a captain and a real captain of the ship. You know what I mean? So he's one of the examples in the sound system business who keeps this thing organized. He's a college student, and he knows what it means to keep his thing together. Mr. Lee, we gotta go back to your story, my brother. When you said you could not see yourself competing in Kingston, and you decided to forward the country and then teeth your son for the dance first time, and you had to rent. So where was this dance?
Was Nain Community Center.
Right. So continue from there, my brother.
Nain was like the hot spot for dance back them times, right? So I had planned this thing like months ahead, right? Hoping everything would be all together by that time, right? So mishap came up and we still had to go ahead, right? Because at this time, it wasn't just sound system, right? Patrons were anticipating DJs and singers on the sound in those times, right? So I had already gone out to pay DJs and all of that to be on the sound at that time, right? For that date and thing. So what I had to do was to just rent some stuff, right? Boxes and mixer and all of that.
So who did you rent those equipment from?
I tell you what, there was this guy. You may know him too, you know. He had a sound system in Alligator Pond, but it wasn't. This guy, I think his name was Sammy or something like that. But he used to travel. He used to work on ship.
Okay.
So the system was in Alligator Pond, but it was just there, not playing or anything.
Right.
Right. So that's where I went to. I got the boxes to rent from him. Right. So at this point, everything is head over heels in terms of cost, right? Because you got to be renting all this stuff, paying DJs, all of that, right? So yeah, we got the boxes from him, and that's how we proceeded, right? It was a Saturday night session, and we had Bimbo as usual was there, right?
man.
That was his first night on the set. Yeah.
Bimbo.
AKA Garnet Silk. Yeah.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
So hold up a second. Oh,
Yes, man.
so you're telling me on your first dance promotion in country, they stole your sound system, and then you had to rent from a brethren from Alligator Pond,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had Bimbo, that was
Mm-hmm.
Garnet Silk,
Yeah.
appeared at your dance.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
This
history.
right there's a history.
Give me
So,
Yeah.
that year. What year was that?
wow. 86, 86, 87? Late 86, early 87? Could it be?
86, 87.
Think about 86. 86, 87.
So we're talking the mid 80s.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is before Garnet Silk became famous.
Yes. So all right. So here's the thing. Let me give you a little history on Silk, right? On Bimbo.
Right.
There was a sound system in Mandeville called Destiny International.
I
They called it
remember it.
Destiny International, right? It was like the root sound of Mandeville because they had Wadat, who
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
to care of the uptown part of Mandeville, right?
Yeah.
Destiny was sort of the root sound. So at that time, Bimbo, Tony Rebel, Culture Knox, U-Turn Green,
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh God, what's his name, man?
You never had
Star
the
Trail. No man,
Oh.
think that is shit. Star Trail. Oh God.
What? Which one I told him?
Singer man. Oh gosh, man.
Singer?
Yeah, man, from Clarendon, man. Oh gosh.
Singer from Clarendon. What's the remember my name?
Everton Blender.
Huh?
Everton Blender.
Yeah.
Everton Blender. Okay.
Yeah, man. There were resident DJs on Destiny.
Right.
So that very night when we were playing at Nain, I booked Bimbo was supposed to be at our dance, but he was at a dance in Mandeville at Skateland with Destiny.
Right.
Right? Right? So during the process of everything, him, Bimbo, U-Turn Green, and another youth named Country Speng.
Country Spank, yeah.
Yeah, was a good DJ.
Brethren.
Was a good DJ back then, right?
Mhm.
They were supposed to be on the sound at night.
Right.
So I had to drive from Nain, go to Mandeville to pick them up. But when I went there,
So what were you driving during that time? Tell me where you did drive.
so I like a Vauxhall Viva, you know.
Huh?
Yeah.
I like a Vauxhall Viva.
Yeah.
Yes, me remember the Vauxhall.
Yeah, with a big set inside there, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
man. Yeah.
Yes.
You know who would remember them days at all? Peter Nita, your
Yeah,
brethren. I
yes,
hope him watching right now.
yes.
Chicken Back Festival. Yeah. Continue,
Yeah.
my brother.
Right.
And
So,
DJ Ishie, me soon touch you, you know.
so,
I know you're
Yes,
driving
man.
while you're second.
so
Yes,
when we
man.
started, you know, when we started, right? That was
Yeah.
we actually Teddy. I don't know if you remember Teddy Adams.
Yes, man.
So Teddy
Right,
was the first selector for the set, you know.
So hold on. What you tell me, sir? Adam,
Yeah,
Teddy
yeah.
was the first selector for
First selector. Yes. Right? Because remember, his father, Mas Papa, had a son, had a little
Yes.
son. So
always
Teddy-
and still have a song.
right. So because we're just starting, and I never want to be hooked down around a turntable at that point, right? You know what I mean? Because I know I had to be jumping around and getting things
Right.
together. So Teddy was the guy, was the person who started as selector.
So hold on a second. This is not Run Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. We're going down memory lane with Hot Gossip, with DJ Latta, Mr. Lee, and the man himself, DJ Ishie. And we're talking about Teddy from
Yeah.
Downs District
Yes, man.
in Manchester.
Yes, man.
From Adams Corner, there, so.
Yep.
For real.
Original
Skill bike rider.
rider.
Yes.
And we have to say hats off to Teddy
Yeah.
and his family because he still has a sound system.
Yes.
And
Yes.
enough time I had a mystic in
Yep.
and hear him rinse some
Yep.
real
Yep.
foundation tune.
Yeah.
Him not lose it. And he was the first DJ.
Yeah, so I want to tell you too now. Here,
Continue, my
that's
brother.
another little part that I didn't remember the last time, you know, that said Mass Papa sound, that's Teddy's father sound.
Right.
You could have stay up at my house and listen it when them a play down there back them days, right? So
Same
it
way.
was an inspiration to me at that point too, right? It wasn't a big sound, but you could have hear him play him when him a play down there. Right.
Right.
So yeah, it was Teddy. And that night, honestly, everybody was anticipating this new sound, right? So I don't have to tell you that main center was ram the night. Ram. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
We had our hitches, right? Because you know sound is new and after you work out things and it's not the whole thing where how it was, right? Different speaker boxes and all of that, and it just wasn't how it should have been, right?
So let me ask you something. Did they steal all of the equipment or you had some left?
Some was left.
So was it
What?
the electronic section or the speakers?
Speakers.
Okay, you had only
Speakers and
speakers
some
left, but
yeah.
amps were gone,
Some
turntables and so on. Okay, so you had to now get you rent a new turntable. At that time, it was you're talking vinyl.
yeah.
You're spinning vinyl.
Yeah.
So you had to rent a turntable, and
Mixer.
then you had a mismatch in terms of speaker box.
Yeah.
Okay, continue, my
So
brother.
nothing was too balanced, right? But we had to work with it because you know what I mean, we had a commitment. So as I said now, I had to go to Mandeville to pick up these guys. But when I got there, probably
So hold on a second. You're talking leaving from
Nain.
Nain, and I want you to understand the Shreps back then
Yeah.
that you did not have that beautiful highway
No.
from
No.
Cutters to Mandeville. You had to go
Was-
around SS Corner
Yes.
and through Willem,
Yes.
past Alpart Farms,
Yeah.
and you have to take the road there so
Yeah.
to go in a Mandeville, which never too beautiful. You know, the highway, it never so South Coast Highway never so wonderful.
Yep.
So it took you a while to get there.
Yeah.
And remember, you have to make sure you have gas in your tank, you know, because no gas station.
No, not them time.
So
Okay.
it was a hectic journey, especially coming back down Spur Train. Yeah, so continue, my brother.
And here's the thing. People back then anticipate DJs in dance, right? Live DJs.
Yes,
So
that was the thing back then.
Early, Bimbo from them days they started having a buzz, right? So people just used to love hearing per sound system because they used to be on Raleigh, Little Upsetter, another song we never mentioned last time, right? That was owned by one of our brethren, a bona fide brethren, Calvin Crasgill, father.
Yes.
Right? He was like a brother, one of us, right?
Yeah.
Technician and all. That man was one of the smart guys, right? Yeah. So when as soon as the people, you know, them time they used to clear dance hall, right? Dance hall, you play free, and then at a certain hours, you just shut off the sound. People come out and start pay for come in.
Yes, man.
The moment them start pay for come in, everybody start mumble. Warm to the DJ, warm to Bimbo, because it's on the posters, right? So them now go joke with that. Them now pay them money for a flap.
Is the poster. And hold on, I'm gonna find one poster and show you how poster used to look back in them days. Hold up a second, my brother. I'm gonna look for this. Because everybody think it's a print tree going on. But no, you're not going to print tree. You have to, I'm gonna have to draw the poster for you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna find here you go, promotional posters. And I gotta find this. Go back. I'm gonna find this poster. And I want to continue, my brother, while I look for the poster.
Right. So during this time now I've decided go get these guys, right? Because that is like the Friday before they told me that Destiny would be playing at Skateland, right?
Right.
That's when they told me that. So they said anyway, they'll leave Destiny early and come to my session, right? Anyway, got up there, Skateland ran, right? Get a message to the man, the man say, yo, man, on the outside, so, you know what I mean? All right. Two of the guys come, Utan and Country come. Bimbo come out after that.
Yeah.
So Dennis, we have a problem. I said, what now, Bimbo? Why I can't leave the dance right now because promoter go vex and you know what I mean? I said, then boss man, you don't know that, my dance plan long ahead of that. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you know what happened now? I had to leave Bimbo in Mandeville, drive back down with the two guys, so they could start something, right? And then about an hour time after I get there, drive back to Mandeville to pick up Bimbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trouble that.
So
trouble.
Right? Because look, I can tell you, it would be a flop if Bimbo didn't come there that night.
Yeah.
So anyway, bottom line, we got back in Mandeville about some minutes to 12. We got back to Neil, or after 12, something like that. Right? And trust me, the moment the man come out of the car and go through the gate, them time the man was like, from back then, this guy had this chemistry with people, where people just love him, right? And I can tell you, Judge, when Bimbo come out of the car and go through the gate, it's like it's a wave of people heading into
Hold on, my brother. You remember them posters, eh?
Yes, man. Yeah.
This was how poster look back in the day.
Yeah, man.
A man draw a poster for you.
Yes, man.
Goodness gracious me. So you're saying that when Bimbo, that's AKA Garnet Silk, forward, and you have to go for you have to travel to Mandeville twice, two times.
Yeah.
To pick him up from a dance.
Yeah.
And everybody are near outside of the dance and wait and say, oh, Bimbo not coming out going.
Yeah.
And as him forward, the dance overload.
Yeah,
where
because
in Nain was this dance?
Nain Community Center.
All right.
Right?
So,
because the thing is,
this guy and Ishie, I hope you reach home. You soon reach home.
Yes, man. I soon reach home.
All right, my brother.
Yeah. So from them time then on, I can tell you, so this guy had some star quality where it was so obvious, right? The attraction people had to him, and he knew it from from back then. So he had this mystic way about him where the other two, he could have come the same time when the other two coming up, but him need to make an entrance. Right? So him no one come when the other guy is coming. He want to make sure when him come is like a star time. So he had that thing about him from then. You know what I mean? Anyway, as I said, he came, and trust me, it was worth the wait, worth every dollar of him coming, because this him just come with a
Let me
vibe.
ask you a question. Come here, play devil's advocate. How much you did pay him for that show?
Why is that? We don't really remember, but trust me, trust me. To be honest,
yeah.
If I can't, God, why I don't remember, to be honest. But I don't think it was over. I don't think it was $300, but that was big money.
Big money them time there. Yeah.
Right? It was big money. Right? Huge. That it was a big deal. You understand?
Yeah,
because remember, a liquor was like $250 in the dance.
Yeah.
$252. Yeah, thereabouts. Right?
No, I don't want you. A person get it twisted. I want you to give them the real deal. That means you said 250. How you mean 250? Talk the 250. 250?
No, man.
Oh, so talk the no, I want you to give them the real deal. $2.50. Yeah, Heineken or a Red Stripe in the dance.
In the dance.
So when you pay an artist $300, a big deal.
A big deal.
Continue, my brother. We have to get it right, because the youngsters will not know what we're talking about.
Yep.
And the era that we are coming from, they must understand that $10. What are the blue boy?
It was a big deal, man.
If you get a red boy at $20, now.
You're bossy.
You're bossy. Them time they have paper 50 cents.
Yep.
Paper money at 50 cents. So 50 cents was a big deal.
Yep.
But listen, I blew up on the road, you step on it quick.
Yeah.
Naran Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. We have Mr. Lee, part 2. Continue, Mr. Lee. You're talking about your first dance in country when you forward from the city. Yeah. You're a college boy. You're forwarding and decide that you're going to put Hot Gossip on the road. Was it named Hot Gossip at that time?
Yeah, man.
How did you come up with the name Hot Gossip?
All right. So it's a simple way, There was a company in the States used to make some bags called Hot Gossip. I don't know if you know it. I think it still exists. Some women bag that used to have the single thing marked Hot Gossip on them. So the name came up by saying, look, this sound I just wanted it to be dark, right?
Yeah.
Something I was saying, I said, I want the sound to be the talk about, Just want people to talk about it. Right? So like it just must be gossip. Like if you want everybody to be on everybody's lips.
So
right?
Did you come up with this on your own, or did you have some help with somebody you can throw some ideas to and bounce it off them and then say, yeah, man, run it?
Was there anyone and then some of the brethren that said, no, man, the name they hard to call and it not really. I'm gonna say, what if it's a gossip, right? See? Yeah, because not for man. I feel already I said, then it's that it not stick. Right? It not stick, it not sound like
when you started out, we're talking about the first dance to kind of showcase your sound system. The guys did not like the name Hot Gossip.
No.
and you were looking at it from a perspective that this is a name brand company in the United States,
Yeah.
and you think that it will take off because it is comparable, or you can do the meeting of the mind. You say you can equate it with hot gossip
Yes, man.
brand. So
Yeah.
you wanted to take off not just nationally but internationally. All right,
Mm-hmm.
continue. So
Yeah.
you got the name from this company
Yeah.
overseas. A lot of people didn't like it locally, but you're looking long term
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also on a wider audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Continue, my brother. So
Because even a disco, right? At that time in the 80s, disco wasn't that popular, right? It was just in town, and you couldn't come a country come find them at disco and all them things, right? Any song with it saying calling themselves disco, right? So that is how much I was thinking ahead, right? For say that is what I want. I need a party sound. I want to have a sound where go make people gravitate to it. Them just want to hear it. That was from the get-go. It must have the quality, because I know there's just two things about a sound system:
so so Ted,
tune and quality.
so Mr. Lee, let's look at it from a different perspective here. The dance was a success. That first party that you kept, they stole your sound system.
Yes.
You rented some sound system, another sound system,
Yeah.
which was inferior to what you
Mhm.
had. But you worked around it. You had to be running around,
Yeah.
keeping things together, getting Bimbo, that's Garnet Silk, into the party because he was the headliner.
Yeah.
And you said, okay, after this, the party was a success. Who was the selector on the sound at that time?
Teddy.
So Teddy was
Yeah.
we're talking Adams from
Adams.
Downs
Yeah.
District in Manchester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big up to Teddy, the bicycle rider.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Fitzroy.
at that time, after that dance, how did you rebuild the sound?
All right. So as I said, that dance was a success, real success. But in terms of funds, there was just too much expense, right? So the expense sort of, it just worked out well, where it came with a good dance, but too much overhead.
So you did you break even, or
Break
you
even,
you
yeah.
lost? Huh?
I wouldn't even think it was a break even, because it just too much cost. The cost was way over, right? But what I got was a good promotion, right? People love
How
what
much
they
was it
hear.
coming to the dance at that time?
Oh, Jesus. Probably about $2. About
Okay.
$1.50, $2.
Yes, brother. You lose some money.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
hundreds never exist them in the 80s, man. Anything in
Yeah.
hundreds are big money, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
It's dollars, right? No, them things that never exist. But so even though the obsession that RAM, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
dollar, it's $1 and $2 you deal with,
Can
right?
you remember some of your brethren, bona fide brethren, who was at that dance?
Yes,
Call them
man.
name.
Yes, man. Whitey, rest in peace. Whitey Neal, right?
Yeah.
What's up? That's Claude Owens. My brother Junior, which is one of my biggest supporter from day one with my sound system.
Yeah, man. Yes,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's the biggest cheerleader, man.
yeah.
Anywhere. Him a pull up, him and them version. Like, it's a crew of them. Once we play, we know gossip crew is coming, right? And
Yes, man.
yes, I got a beaker pull up, and when them pull up, everybody. And as we move further, you're going to find out why gossip really took off that sort of waves was with him, because of him and the rest of the crew, right?
Yeah.
That is how we just skyrocketed to popularity, right?
Nice.
So we had, oh gosh, man, there's so many guys, man. Oh gosh. Pastor.
Yes, man.
Yes,
Pastor. I mean, a foundation from
Yeah, man.
birth
From
of the
birth.
sound, right?
Yeah, man.
Right? Like my brother, right? Straight. At least he actually became the manager after, right? He
Yeah.
was the guy who did all the bookings and all of that, right? Never left my side for an inch up to this day, right?
Yeah.
You have you have a ras, you know, right now.
Yeah.
Where you used to lift some box of gossip.
Yes, man.
Bobo man from
Bobo.
Oh, jeez, man.
Dear
Yeah.
one,
In my listen right now, and
dear one, big up Bobo, anyway, I'm there, right?
Yes,
Because
man.
dear
Yes,
one,
man.
see,
Original.
you have some younger youth like Fuzz,
Yeah. And cartoon.
Cartoon, right?
Yeah, man. And Dicky.
Dicky,
Yeah.
Carl, Honest,
Yeah. And what the next virgin name? Lotta.
yeah, right? So
Yeah.
these are some foundation guys where from the get-go, right? Because it was a big deal, a sound system coming at those. That was unheard of, right? So all them youth, at this point, most of them youth, you might call them name, they were in school, right?
I want to tell you something. It's back in the day, because a lot of people don't understand the era where you come from. Junction was never built up like it is today.
No.
Pauline Row Club on the
That was a
balcony
big
was
deal.
the biggest deal in a junction.
Yeah.
And you have to big up Pauline Row. And whole family. You know, Barzy Road did leave Dessa to Tony. You know, and that was the biggest shop in a junction.
Yeah.
The rest of it was grass piece.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
True.
So it slowly developed. So when you are talking about, you have a big dance in the name. Remember, Alpart was running at that time.
Yes, man.
The biggest bauxite company in the Western Hemisphere.
Yep.
And a lot of people from all over the country and also different parts of the globe was working at Main St. Elizabeth. So them checks there on a Friday evening mean the whole community get paid.
So the insight was that the dance
so when
had to
you
be there.
off a dance in a Nain, Nain was the central point, not Junction, not Santa Cruz. It was never Mandeville, because outside of Mandeville, maybe you have to climb, you have to drive in them.
Yes. Yeah.
So that party was a big deal because Nain was central.
And as I said,
everything happened.
It was a history dance in terms of the capacity. Full. The place was rammed because everybody wanted to hear this.
There was never no GT Taylor at that time.
No.
The GT Taylor did not exist.
No, GT came way down the line. Way down the line. I don't want to talk about it, because there came that time when he came and took Hot Gossip to another level, right?
True.
So he kind of blew Hot Gossip out of the waters when him step in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big up GT, guys.
So kind of advanced me from there. After that part, that was a big deal party because Bimbo came. That was Garnet Silk, and you lost some money, but you got a hype.
Yes.
At that point.
And that is what sound system is about,
where you rebuild the sound system. I want to know how you rebuild the sound system and got it to a point, because we're talking mid-'80s, climbing up the line. A lot of people did not get that flavor that you brought, because you kind of changed the momentum, and you molded the dance hall back then with a different kind of city flavor and an international flavor. And also you kind of revolutionized the dance hall when you talk about Bimbo. You talk about other young artists coming up. You call some names from Mandeville, and Clarendon, you know, these artists were up and coming and they wanted their own piece of the pie. So
Yeah.
it was kind of different from Dennis Brown. You're talking Bob Marley, you know, that kind of a ska coming reggae kind of era. You were molding the dance hall. So tell me, how did you rebuild the sound? And when did Ishie get involved?
All right.
Talk to me.
So you see what? Right after that first dance, right? We had to pull back, right? So there's a name will come up again you're familiar with. This is how Bull Bogle, Bull from New Forest. That is how
You mean
Don One, man.
Don Juan.
Don One.
Don
Yes,
Juan
man.
sound.
Yes.
Talk to me. And the Indian that without foot
So,
and finger, the technician. All right,
yes.
talk to me.
So this is how Don One came in now. Because you know Don One does woodwork, right?
Yes.
Right. He'll speak good worker, but you have to sit down with him. So
Old Kingstonian you talk about.
yes, man.
Yes, man.
So I had the speakers, some speakers out of boxes at this point now, right? So we decided, so we have to make some fresh boxes now, right? So went to Don One, tell him I need to get 4 boxes built, right? That's all. 4 boxes, 4 double boxes, right?
So hold up a second. Because you have to come, you have to follow that down square.
Yeah,
You have to take the right.
yeah,
And you head down to Alligator Park.
yeah,
Same time when I'm in the shop, you come at Adams Corner there, so.
yeah,
Papa Adams there, so.
yeah,
And you come down a little bit more. You have Broomfield.
yeah,
I sell him the car drum and all and in bar there, so. Jack cross the road.
yeah,
And you come to a waterfront.
yeah,
And you pass and come, yeah, go down the line, you know.
yeah,
Ricketts, you
Yep.
pass to a place,
Yep.
and you come on Ricketts, and you come down, and
Froggy,
you talk about George,
yeah,
George, so with the skicker table,
yeah,
I'm married and this.
yes.
You talk about the bridge and big farmer over up on the left, and you over on the
Like
right,
a curly,
we'll see
yeah,
them.
yeah,
All right, you come down and you have one shop right, in a way. You know, it's a massive family.
yes,
All right.
yes,
You understand me?
yes,
Froggy up on the left.
yes,
You understand me? Brother Johnson up on the left, School up on the right, and Brother Dicky up on the right, and you come right on Miss Pearl.
yes.
Was it Ian Lawn back then?
No, yeah, no, never exists yet, man.
Yeah, so
It
that
was as a
means it was
shop.
Miss Pearl.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you make the left down a lane and go a bull.
yes.
Now them call down, they say gully side. So we're talking about Bull. Don Juan
Yep,
was a little red Chinaman, half Chinaman,
North China, yeah,
who come from him the liver town one time. So
Yeah, man.
him always in them little shots.
shots, yeah,
Yes.
short
Yeah,
trousers,
and
slippers.
slippers.
Yes, he never leave
No
that.
shoes.
So and you have a little technician now, a little short Indian where him foot them cut off, a train cut off him foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a rum caused that. So and him lose some finger too. He
Yeah,
was a bad technician back then. Anything in him transistor radio or anything with technology in it back then, him know for deal with it.
Yeah.
So tell me, so Bull was the person
yes,
Don where him have a little Don one son. I did have some wicked up plate.
Yeah, man.
yeah, man.
Him was the one who started build back a boxer.
Yeah, yeah. Because remember, Don One
Tell me how that go.
Don
When
One
you-
and Cox
How
was
you
graduate,
link up with Bull? How did you meet? Did you know him before?
Yeah, man.
Was-
Yeah, man. Because him and my
Oh.
old man get along well,
Me know.
right? See? So because of that, I knew him that way, right? So I decided, yeah, check Bull to build the boxes, right? And him always have him little thing, him always have him little ways when he can get certain things. You know what I mean? Certain little ways other than walking through the store.
You know how the thing said. Oh, Kingstonian.
Yes.
man.
This
So,
is Naram Promotion,
yes.
the Real Deal Podcast Show. We're on part 2 of Hot Gossip. We've got DJ Latta,
Yes.
myself, yours truly, Mystic, in the studio. We have Mr. Lee, the Don, the original Bad Sound Hot Gossip.
Yes, man.
He was the originator.
Yes.
And we have the baddest selector from Foundation that about in the late 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
DJ Ishie will teach you,
Yes,
DJ
man.
Latta. Continue your story,
Yeah.
Mr. Lee. When you say
Yeah, man.
me and one now, and
Right.
because Don One and your father was big friends,
Yes,
and
man.
we know how that they go. My father and the whole of them was big friends.
Yeah.
We have so we have to hold the corner.
Yes.
So when you forward and say, yo, Bull, Mr. Bull, what you say? I'll build some boxing and we have some speaker. Wait, how it go? Talk to me.
Yeah, man. So him show me a little thing, right? How him could have deal with some material. They would have to come down from town on the market truck and all them thing there, right? But him have a avenue when he can pick up some material at a reasonable cost, right? Like,
Our team,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Let me hear you.
Yes. So yeah, so we arrange that thing and you know what I mean? Him do him thing and take a while over because bull promises not really come true like it's promised, right? So it took a while. I mean, sit down there and every day when the material did come, it was another thing again to get bull sit down in the shop for build the boxes, right? So one night I sit down with him till probably about 3 o'clock in the morning. Him start to
You have to buy some juice.
Yes, man. And his son Errol was there too.
Yes.
And he teach him son Errol just the way him do things too, say things not to be done, right? On time, right? Right? So it was just a tussle, man. Right? So one night I stayed with him till about 3 in the morning. I work, and him say, all right, gossip, don't worry yourself. You see the man and we so we just are continue now. I tell you, 1 week pass, every time I got a bull another them 2 bucks at the same stage. But when that morning, right?
So
Long story short.
No I'll reach your box still.
Yeah, man. Long story short, Errol decided to take them over. I said, boy, daddy not the boat and him just give me the run out. So I took about 2 months or more to get them boxes. Right? I will get them one by one.
So hold on a second. Because we're talking about an era in the country where parties was not prevalent. You know, it was not every night.
No.
It was more like a holiday kind of stuff.
Yep.
Where you have dances, but people had to survive. You know, these were hard times, and you did not have, the bar drink out and the round robins and so on going on. You're talking hardworking people who went to Alpart, or they were farming, or they were working out somewhere out there in the city, in Mandeville, or they gone from farm work. So a lot of people did not see dance hall or parties. They did not. The culture was not every night. It was special back then, and you dress up to go to that party or a dance. So when a dance I keep anywhere from the south, it overloaded because that was a special time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And you had to advertise your party way ahead of time. And the posters were these little drawn posters like the one I showed you, like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, where you find that in every light post or lamp post, them called, or electrical pole.
Paste up and not tape in a floor. You have to mix up
Yeah,
have to hold you up.
yeah. And those, when you see those posters, they were proliferated everywhere, every bar, every corner, every bus stop, every taxi
Yeah.
stand, and
Yes.
this was it tape up on the car them because the car them never enough neither.
No.
So when you see the party, that's when you say the dance was worth it, but the admission to come in was cheap.
Yeah.
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 So you lose customer when the artists come late too, you know, because some people have to go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Early.
Yeah.
Because them a light lamp them time there and back a torch to go to them yard. So it was like now when you had a lot of electricity light, a lot of lights, you know, you have people have to light back a torch and them not light the lamp after a certain time, you know, brother, because them can't burn out the idol.
No.
You know what I mean? Because the kerosene is expensive.
So true.
So you said Bull kind of dry you out for a couple of months.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Son,
So
him son say, all right, him will deal with the case.
yeah.
And then now, tell me how it go from this stuff.
Yeah, man. So Errol decided to take it over, right? Which again, as I said, it's not the most reliable guy either, right? So you still go down there, Errol gone too, nobody does that. Tell me, okay, take a few months to get them, take a couple months, right? So at this time, there's no action. We just stay there and was keeping my collection, like buying records, all of that, make sure my buying records keeping up, right? Because
So
that's
did
it.
you have any dub plates at that time?
No, man, don't play it. No, man, not even.
It's too early.
Too
All
early.
right.
No, too
So,
early. You just you build your collection now. You keep building
All right.
the collection, right? Because you realize as a new set, even though I had the little thing before, we weren't buying records as now that I have this set to start.
so you're talking about vinyls, because
Yeah.
you have to have the plastic crate, everything organized
Yes,
in
man.
them,
For
the
the
records in
LPs.
the right sleeve.
Yeah.
And you have to be, as the records came out, the 45s, you gotta get the 45s, you gotta get the LPs,
Yep.
and so on the albums. So at that time you have to be carrying record boxes with vinyls in it.
Yeah.
And then never light neither to it.
No, heavy.
And you can't drop them in.
No.
You can't drop them back.
The hold them tight.
You ever drop them back to DJ like that?
No. Never.
All right. So talk to me now.
Yeah.
So when you eventually got your boxes, tell me what happened. How many boxes did you get?
4.
4 boxes.
Four boxes.
Were they 15 inch?
15 inch, man. 15 inch.
Eh?
15 inch.
All right.
15
so you have
inches.
some 15 inch
Yes,
bass
sir.
box.
Bass boxes. Yeah.
So what to the mid range on the top?
12 inch and tweeters.
Okay.
Sometimes I will never have no mid bass and all them things. It's just tweeters, 12 inch bass speakers. That was it. 3 stage. That's how we
So
started.
you're talking back in the day when Coptic was hot. You're talking about the weed thing.
Yep.
For the South was
hot.
big back them days.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Money around.
Yeah.
So you have some serious general roll through in the
Yes,
maximum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big car them time there, the Volvo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in those days, right? So when you get them box there, you remember Glenn Powell?
Yeah.
With a blue minivan. You never carry your sound yet?
Then he was a resident. Yeah, that man was a resident truck.
Glenn from Well Road, New Forest.
Yes, man.
Yes, man.
Brother. My neighbor.
Yeah, that was a
My brother.
resident transport from the get go. Trust me,
man.
right?
Old,
Until
hold
the
on,
years
old Pialis.
further now when we got bigger, right?
That was the hot gossip truck, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Until
Yeah.
we got bigger, where we kind of outsize that, right? But for years, that was it, right?
Blue Transit.
It was the
Yeah.
Blue Transit, and that was just a little gossip where you used to all in at that, and regardless the size land we're going at, we are ram it still because we have
Yeah,
the
man.
sound
We
system,
hang on, buddy, man.
right? Right? Trust me. We so as I said now, we took that time for start to get myself together, right? So when those boxes came in, at this time we used to be up at the house, right? So put the boxes together, getting the equipment them together now, and then start testing the sound there, right? So at this point we're not getting any data or anything as it, right? So we just keep stringing it up right at the front of the house.
So,
Place right there.
at what point did Ishie come at the gate and come check?
All right, so yeah, man, I get that. So at this point, when I tell them we test it in there at the house every day, like that was just focus on that, right? But every day when I do something, I test it. This is a point now when Mass Up and No. That has come from come up in.
Yeah,
Right?
man, no.
That is how them come in now. So they started to come now, and with the DJ up on the sound right at the yard every day, like almost every day, every night, right? Myself and no. And then after a while, now people start gathering out of the gate, like people like a session, right? Because the gate would have closed, but everybody would have come. You know what I mean? Because music are played.
And I wonder for a lot of people to understand. You're talking back in the day when Charles off betting, that's Cecil Charlton off betting was horse race was the order of the day. You had transistor radios that are boom boxes that you walk with Berwick battery. Those were the days when you didn't have a lot of sound system and music, big music like Bluetooth boxes in bars. You didn't have a lot of electricity in bars at that time, or people did not catch on to electricity at that time. It was the transitional period. So when you hear a big sound system and you have to throw up the sneakers on the wire to and hold a little free thing, you understand, for boost up the sound.
Yeah.
And that's how drive the sound.
You
understand? And when little man come with a little something there, and the little zzz, the little, you know what I mean, and pull up with us and him a little thing and him just drive God and him not even see nothing. So you're saying at that time the sound, just like Papa and that, it'll ring out now. You have tested every day. You have perfect the sound system. And the DJs will come and practice stuff.
That's
it draw a crowd. Continue from this, my brother.
So that was it for a while. We're right there, right? As you know, I used to do my electronic thing, right? And so that is how I used to do get by, right? Fix televisions, amplifiers, all them things there.
Right.
So everything was up my lane when it comes to sound system, right? So kept at it, doing additional things, set it up every day, listen what I want, listen what I, you know what I mean, have my plans for what I really need. So I can't remember exactly the first date, I think it was down in a community, in our community center. I can't remember the promoter, but I can remember that it was in Downs Community Center the first time.
Who was the Who did control Downs Community Center at that time?
Why? You know, most times the boys used to be in control of the center most time. The thousand, the bows guys, and it was, you know, I mean, yeah, they were like the official guys who you contact if you need the center, right?
Yeah.
So somebody came to me and said to me, if I'd played on the center, right? I think that was the first day. I can't remember who it was, but that was our first afternoon. I think Downs Community Center was the very first time we played.
So I'm going to ask you again. Was Ishie there at the time?
No.
Was still Teddy?
No. Yes, it was still Teddy. And a little of me, because we would have, because we would have spent some time. But as I said, because everything was new, because I couldn't do it, from them time, right?
Right.
I couldn't do it. I knew I can do it. So Teddy was the man who would be there all the time. Right?
So hold on a second. Ishie, we're talking late 80s, right? Mid to late 80s. So Ishie, tell me, where were you mid to late 80s?
We never really start messing on the sound until about 88, what them time, because
So
we
hold
leave
on.
school.
Before you started messing with the sound, where were you?
Was still in country. We go to Bowman Comprehensive College.
Oh, so you were in school at that time?
That's right, yes.
Yeah, and you were listening sound system.
Yes, man. Music was always a thing.
You gravitated to the music, but tell me how you gravitated in a way that you had to go to gospel. Tell me.
Well, as I said, I was living in Downs all the time, and basically the first time I heard the sound playing, was basically a street dance. And as Dennis was saying, it wasn't, as he was stated, like a disco sound as such. You had DJs used to come in and DJ and the sound, and then after you play the music, you flip the record, the version, and them actually do them thing on the whole 9 yards. So I was just staying and just learn and just listen and all of that stuff. And
so while you were learning, I'm curious to find out. Did you go around the sound system? Did you meet Mr. Deere? Did you ask? How did you get involved?
actually, basically when I went on it, like the first time I heard the sound playing, I walked down there and it was basically a street dance. I was standing around looking and watch the DJs, them and all that stuff. But the thing was, we're actually start messing around, as Dennis used to actually, as he said, mentioned earlier, they used to play the sound in the yard itself, out at the front, and the gate is normally open because, as he mentioned, Junior, his supporting brother, he was a mechanic. So the gate is always open at that time. The customers come in and get, so that was like an entrance of getting there, and then you stand around it a little bit and see what was going on. Because they was basically they're practicing and playing music.
Ishie, because I want to know that first time you actually met the connection. So you weren't there at that Down Sports Center dance. It was Teddy.
Yes.
And we're gonna call Teddy. And we need Teddy's story too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to reach a point where when you get involved and when DJ Letter start carry box and wrap up wire, you understand? And learn from Ishie that you forwarding DJ Letter. So hold on a second, Mr. Deere, continue. Tell me that second party that you had at
Downs Community Center. Right?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, so there was a Saturday night. At least all dance at that time was Saturday nights. Sunday dances hardly ever existed. Probably just like town, but country, them not exist. So everything was Saturday night. So we did that Saturday night dance at the center, and success. Trust me, success. We had that what's his name? Ishie, remember what name, man? The DJ where you hear what play there?
Gregory Peck.
Gregory Peck.
All
We
right.
had Gregory Peck there that night,
Yes.
right?
So tell me about
So,
Gregory Peck that time. Was he looked at as the man to come sit and listen to as a DJ?
what happened, you know? I think
A
he
few
had
records out too.
two good tune out at that time that was taking the dance hall by storm, right?
Yeah.
And and we knew him, at least Pastor, right? Pastor knew him because he was originally from Mile Gully. That's where Pastor is from. So Pastor
Right.
knew him. So we link him up and get him in, because generally we just knew from back then you had to have somebody on the mic, some DJ,
Yes.
right? Because we weren't talking on the mic at that time, right? We were just playing records, and we're using one turntable up to that time. We had two, but we're just using one.
So you're saying that you were playing the music, but like today's DJ, you weren't
We
talking a
weren't
mic.
talking.
No.
You're just spinning tune
Just spinning tune.
on one
One
turntable.
turntable.
And you make one turntable look like two.
No, here's the thing, we have two. But when I say play, let me rephrase it. We would play the two, but we weren't mixing anything.
Yes.
Okay.
So when we finish one, we just play another tune. Probably have nothing to the same rhythm or nothing close
You
to
know,
the same
I
rhythm,
used to
right?
see where a one turntable will sound like two in them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Where
You can flip it.
you
fast.
wheel up the tune,
Yeah.
Flip.
all on an album,
Yeah.
and you lift a needle, and you know the exact spot where to drop it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
you drop it neat
Yeah, man.
Really,
and catch it back again. And
Yeah, man. We master that in the time. In the
when
interim.
this was Teddy Adams who was playing, was the DJ who filled in, and he was the resident DJ when you're
Yeah.
not on the sound.
None.
So he was the one spinning tunes. So how was he at that time? Did they like or love him, or did they accept him as a bad DJ? Or did they go?
Well, here's the thing. At that time, I don't even know if people that really look at DJs as the thing more the guy who put the records on.
They weren't focused on DJs.
No.
They were
No.
looking at the artist.
No, the artist is the guy,
This was the thing, yeah.
right?
Okay.
The artist was the guy at that time. To tell you the truth, when we started out, the system would be turned away from the audience. So the selector would be looking at the wall, and the dance hall is behind him.
Behind, yeah, for real.
That's how much the selector wasn't a part of it, right?
Right.
Right? The sound system, the amplifiers will be turned towards a wall, and if the selector wants to see what is happening in the dance, him turn around and look on the dance, right? While the DJ is a player, right? I do them thing, right? So the selector wasn't just. It's just basically to put the songs on. Yeah, maybe if him put them in the right order, it make a difference. But the DJs, that's what people look for. Which DJ come on the sound? Very, you understand? So, as I said, just now. So after that session now, Destiny International started breaking up.
Who?
Destiny,
Destiny,
that
yeah.
was on, right? They were at this time. Just the song was going apart because I think the guy
So
who
let
did
me
it was
ask you this.
Mhm.
Did you at that point hear about Don Juan and Bozak?
Yes, man. Was Bozak there at that time? Bozak wasn't Bozak at that time, you know. Bozak was a different name before. Bozak came after the split when because he and another guy brought that sound down back then, right? And then it was there for years. I can't remember the name. But Boza came about after the split, right? The other guy was
There was a rift and a split.
and a split, right? Yes. So that is how Boza came. Yeah. So yeah, that's how Boza came around. Can't remember what it was before the
So
split.
how about Don Juan?
That one, oh gosh, that one was just there.
Him never go play out. Him just
No man, nothing
play
to
him thing a
write.
yard there.
That one was just in a yard, and if him get a one play, anyway, him play the sound stay there for the next 3 weeks or 1 month before him come.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
yeah, man. I really talk.
Yeah.
You know, say sound become resident sound because
Yeah,
you have to get that truck for move that, you know.
yeah. If I look back for your next truck, bring
Yeah.
it back home.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so at this point now, what happened is that, as we said, my sound was small, right? And affordable. That's how we started out. Small, affordable. Right? And that was deliberate too. Because what I was trying to do is get known, right? So we'll do our gigs probably cheaper than another guy and do it better than the guy who would charge more at the end of the day. So I said Destiny was breaking up at this time. So Bimbo came to me to say, hey, the way the impact the sound had that night when him come, right? He would have wanted us be a resident DJ on the sound, right? So fine.
You're talking about AKA Gun itself.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
And he came to you
Yeah.
after Destiny was breaking out
Yes, man.
and said, look, we need a place to anchor myself.
Yes.
And that sound of the blood like yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
go on. And I rental
Yes, man.
equipment you didn't have them time.
Yes. Yes.
So the way you go on tonight in a name,
Yeah.
him forward in and say, him want me a resident DJ. after."
Yeah, man. Because him see
And the crowd turn up.
the buzz what him see. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It wasn't,
man.
it wasn't
All right.
anything
Continue,
close to Destiny, but the buzz we had, him realize, say, yeah, I'm like the crew and everything. And I'm like, because what happened is that
So
him and
at this
Stewie,
time you called it, was it Hot Gossip
Same on
Disco,
Gossip Disco,
or was
man.
it just Hot Gossip?
see him at Gossip Disco,
All right.
right? Because him and Stewie were friends from long ahead at that time, you know, right?
Right.
So we had that connection. So I'm saying, yeah, man, no problem, right? So that was one of the positives, right?
So at this time, you'd have Massop as the
Massop
Yeah,
was
sir.
there still, man. Massop was there, Nuno was there, right? But here's the thing. Let me tell you now what happened after a while. Massop was there with us, but when Bimbo came around now to start be a resident DJ with us, it never got on too well with Massop and Nuno, right? Because them know Bimbo that take the shine off of them, right?
yeah.
So I don't think them so welcome Bimbo on the sound. So them started Nuno came off. Nuno just passed through now and again. But Massop stick around. Massop stick around, right? Even though him never really, because what really happened is that after Bimbo came on, right, he started pulling Tony Rebel, Utan Green, Culture Knox. You know, you hear them name there. Them four guys, them
Yeah,
not
you
yet.
know.
Yeah.
Utan Green, Tony Rebel, Culture Knoxy. There was another guy named Deuteronomy. was in the
Yeah.
Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy.
Yes. Hold up a second. 1 second. This is Naran Promotions,
Yeah.
the Real Deal podcast show. We're gonna have a part 3. This is a series because there's too much. Squeeze one of the dump plate right now. Because remember, wait, now hold up a second. Name them artists there for me.
Yeah. So it was Bimbo, and then because all those guys I'm
No,
talking
Bimbo
about,
meaning AKA Garnet
Garnet
Silk.
Silk.
Then
Right? So following him was Tony Rebel, U-Turn Green, Culture Nazi, Deuteronomy. Right?
goodness gracious me, you heard it live here on Naran Promotions. The Real Deal podcast show. You ready? You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Oh.
Soldier, Apache, Fox, and Ronnie. And this is the governor lieutenant sitting with a pet and told and nobody from Guy Flipper that has been dead and gossip. Oh, can kill this a gun in a me and get here. I just stop kill boy. All of this man from Rockport outside and shoot as well. You just stop kill now. All of this man from Seaview Waterhouse and the bill. You just stop kill now. All of this man from Factory Patton and Warwick Hill. For those of you where blood is spill, then I'm also why don't up in a me knock boy. Woke up in a me shotgun boy. Disrespect me side of our son. And me life disappear right there. I no want them hot gossip. I no tell them.
No. This is Naran Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. Why you play about that shit, that dub there? That dub there bad enough. It's from original. It's from early 90s, late 80s. This
Early
is
Bounty.
original Bounty Killer.
Yes.
In the early days, Nuff Sound did not have this
Yep.
and could not have this
No.
because the Big Bag of Hot Gossip had it. And this was from the early days when young GT Taylor was only looking and listening.
Yep.
So, we have to have a part 3 because we are on 23 minutes in.
What?
Yeah.
So, I want to cut the show and do a part 3. Cause I want to reach a Ishie yet, I want to reach a Latta yet. Ishie teach Latta.
Yeah.
And a Father Gossip teach Ishie.
Yeah.
So we're at the point where you're saying that Garnet Silk, Tony Rebel, and tell me the rest of the artists.
U-Turn Green.
U-Turn Green, Deuteronomy.
Decided to take on Hot Gossip because of the flavor and the vibes that you bring.
Yeah.
I want to tell you this. I want to cut it right here. That part there, hot like fire.
Hot like fire.
That's the part there, hot like fire. Part 3. With the DJ Latta.
Yes, man.
You never start the fact there.
No.
Father Ishie.
Yes, I.
You didn't migrate, I want to hear the migration there, because you did kind of jump ship and go for one of my favorite songs. Them the days there was a picture when I'm gonna show you with Black China. China, I watch this, 45 red dread. We're gonna cut this. We're gonna have a part 3 because there's so much history. I want to hear from Teddy. I want to hear from Glenrick Powell yet.
Yeah.
I've never talked to them, tell me about them days, because Glennie will tell you the whole story. He's like a walking diary. And so it's telling to lose it. And, you know, it's a one love, because this is the history of South Central Jamaica, with that your sound, Hot Gossip, what it did for dancehall was this. It changed the culture. It molded the culture. It was a movement. And a lot of people were disappointed when you left the scene. And we don't know how you left the scene. Why? You don't tell me yet. And don't tell me yet. Because we are going to work up to that part, because this is a series, my brother. Your sound system is amalgamated and etched in South Central Jamaica, Southeast St. Elizabeth, Southwest Manchester. Hot Gossip can never be forgotten. We're going to cut it here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And we're going to have a part 3. We have Mr. Lee, the AKA, that we say Mr. Deer,
Apache.
AKA Mr. Lee,
Apache.
And we have Ishie, one of the baddest disc jockeys that ever graced the South. Second to none on Hot Gossip. You've not heard his story. He's here live right now. And but we're going to work it up to that time. And I'm going to touch Teddy in our interview, because we'll carry me as alive with everybody. And we're going to call Glennie as a truck driver to tell you the other part of the story about the girls that we used to follow Hot Gossip. And we want to know the youth that were born because of Hot Gossip. Yeah, from youth now, we're a big man. Well, and Hot Gossip met them born. Goodness gracious me, Nara Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. I gotta say, these are two brothers like brothers from another mother. Yeah, I love them. Hot Gossip was a sound system, and we're gonna play 2 more. Don't play it enough. Yeah. Before we close the show, DJ Latta, what you say? Because when I reach you yet to
No, yeah. A batsman last, you know.
First and last.
Yeah.
Run it.
I just stop kill boy. All of this man from Rockford, Southside and Short as well. Never stop till now. All of this man from Seaview, Waterhouse and Annabelle. Never stop till now. All of this man from Factory Patton and Warwick Hill. What goes to do? What do to spill? Then I'm also why? Don't up in on me, dumb boy. Woke up in on me shotgun boy. Bitch me spend me side son. And the eye disappear. Right there, I don't want them Hot Gossip. I don't tell them if them the waters, man, them in a problem. And then I feel them, boy. Walk up right up straight in on me M16. But don't please, I've got to reload again and put in the double click magazine. For the great screen. Over this Oscar sip and them kill our bows and skin. To living in a train. This second when it got no fire shot because you burn over in your head just like a bean. We kill off a team. And I'm also, boy, come up in on the mouth, boy. Woke up in on the shotgun, boy. Which respect me side son. And the eye disappear right there. I no want them Hot Gossip. I don't tell them if them this elephant man that ain't a problem. Feel them, you must think that Hot Gossip them done nothing at all. Come on, you shot to get on the street, boy, you have the key come for. Come on, you will do. Oh, you ain't no seen it run, no, you can't run, let you know. Get this man from Olympic way, you can run a mile. We kill you in a coat, come shot, we come for. And then also, come up in the head, Open on the shop.
Mountain.
Goodness gracious me!
Mountain.
One more, and
A
hold
mou-
on before we play it.
Mhm.
The other one.
Yeah.
Mr. Lee, we have a part 3. Ishie, we have a part
Yo.
3. We're
Yeah,
gonna
man.
say,
Yeah,
we're
man.
gonna greet your audience because remember this act, you know.
Yeah, man.
Act like
The
10
thing,
fire
the
sign.
whole internet will burn up because we have the don't play them now. You understand me? So what do you have to say to your audience, Mr. Lee, for part 3?
Yeah, well, you know, we want to get in the real deal now, where we can show how we can really show you how the influence we had back then as a little country sound, right?
And we're gonna call
waves
some
that we had
names
over,
because
right?
you had some very influential people
Yeah,
who was around hot
around that
gossip
gossip, yeah,
that
yeah,
that draw that buzz.
yeah, man.
So all of the skirt tail them follow too.
Yeah,
Yeah, because back in the time it was
yeah,
a vibes that draw Ishie
yeah.
into the fold. Ishie, tell me
For
part
real.
3 cause we're gonna reach you in a part 3 now.
Yeah.
We don't know if a part 4 it will come for you know
The
DJ
box,
Latta.
no,
Yeah,
no latter, box man.
but what you have to say for part 3?
Yes, man. Part 3 gonna be very interesting because that is basically the time, the new era, when we start learn a whole bunch of stuff. And as me mentioned in the part 1, that is when the grooming start with Dennis. Dennis basically say, hey, look, man, you need to learn better more music and better cultural music than a jump up because most all about playing jump up music and go with the new trend and say, in a work like that as a selector, you have to have, you have to know everything to master this craft.
Goodness
So,
gracious me. So you heard it from Mr. Lee and Ishii. Part 3, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell. Because part 3, I'm telling you, tell your friend, tell your family, call who know about hot gossip. All of them youth were born because of hot gossip. Tell them say, part 3, them need for tune in because name of God. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining our promotion. Yours truly, DJ Latta. Yours truly, Mystic, Mr. Ishii, and
yes,
also
I.
Mr. Lee. We're going to go to part 3. Thank you for joining the show. And we say we see you at the next show. Part
Yeah.
3 is
Original Pancha Black said, the way this thing is dead, or the gift of joy is eternal life. No son boy gonna talk about moderation.
One more dog.
Just him look as the liberation. Ice is the liberation. Apache is the liberation. Fox is the liberation. One is the liberation. Come across! Lieutenant Stitch of the liberation. Nobody can be the Almighty because I am run creation 24/7 and stop like the original you been matlock. Rhythm track without no delay. And we look and tell them question. All the massive crew. Look at William this. Tell them, hey. And we are telling this. That's possible. Mighty gossip love you. Almighty God, cast our person. Almighty God, yes, we have to thank you. Almighty God, that gossip. Oh, you will tell them, for the chemical from my back and the that from my toe. For the chemical and the life we are living, Almighty God, you go. But them like no man, gossip, no don't close him up, don't stop me, yo. Send them up on the clips and the way to the crowd that put me, yo. Forget your body, I'm a mind and the soul of this crowd that makes it my body omnipotent, represent the future. God is something to be listened and then it always up you. Almighty God, Almighty God, Almighty God, Almighty God, coffee, coffee, thank you. Almighty God, coffee, coffee. Oh, we tell them, don't on the road and the light in the front of the man now feel pain. That the earth, right for to the inner, no fact that person to get the I be put the fuck when it got the little jump back when the fact but that the jump the type with the enemy could be to my friend. Take this to protect it. I can't just defensive. You'll be stored on the family. I told you be with the Almighty. That's it. Almighty, God will love you. Almighty, God, that's it. Master, praise you. Almighty, that's it. Prophet, thank you. Almighty. Hey, hey, all I want is to know that I start the show. This is something come and go. Person like I don't tell him no. Like talk people way up with him.
Good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now Ramp is out, and I'm saying DJ Latta,
I'm out.
Ishie,
Peace.
Mr. Lee,
Come on, peace.
part 3. Respect. We'll see you on the other side.
Every time, man.
Yes, I.
Every time. Yeah, man. Now Ramp Promotions is at you. Good morning. Now Ramp Promotions is at you.